In today's training, I will be walking you through how to use the corporate module in the Australian version of Voyant. We will be walking through how to model the input of a corporation, corporate dividend distributions, and then how to evaluate the outputs. To input the corporate structure, you're going to navigate to the plus button in the bottom right hand corner and you're going to select the corporate tile. I'm going to add a company and you're going to select the owner of your company. In my plan that I'm working on today, I only have one client, so I'm going to let Maria be the owner of this client. We're going to give this a name, Maria's Small Business, and she is going to be eligible for the small business rate. And I am going to leave the ownership at 100% Maria's. If this is a jointly owned business, you would have the opportunity to split the ownership 50-50, or you could also split it between your client and someone outside of the plan. I'm going to click Done to save that, and I want to draw your attention to something that happens automatically when you add a company into the plan, and that is that an investment account is going to be created automatically. This investment account is going to be an account that all revenue is going to flow into and out of. So anytime you have any income flowing into the business or any distributions flowing out of the business, it's going to flow in and out of this account here. If you have any coffers that you would like to reflect within the business, you can also do that here. So if the business currently has some money in its accounts right now, you can put that balance here in the balance, and then if you wanted to enter a cost basis, that would affect the capital gains that is applied on any distributions in the future. So for my example today, I'm going to leave this blank, but I do want to show some revenue flowing into the company on an annual basis, and that's just so that we can take regular dividend distributions here in a moment. So I'm going to go to my plus button here in the bottom right hand corner. I'm going to go to income. I'm going to go to other income, and the owner of this income is going to be the business because the business is who receives the income. So we're going to call this business revenue. And let's say the business brings in an annual revenue of around $500,000, and this is going to be after tax. You can also put in the gross amount and the system will figure out the taxes for you on the back end. And then I'm going to leave the growth rate at 3% so that the software will figure that this will grow at about 3% each year. We're going to click Done to save. Then I'm just going to point you to year view really quickly, and we can look at the investments section, and you'll see that contribution of $500,000 going into that investment account each year, and it's growing at 5.5% net each year, and it's going to grow year on year until the end of the plan. Now here in a second we're going to start taking some dividend distributions, so that'll change. Now the next thing I want to do is start scheduling those dividend distributions to my client. So we're going to do corporate tab again, and we're going to do company distributions, and the distribution source is going to be the business, and you can do an income or a dividend distribution here. So in this example, I'm going to do a dividend distribution, and this is going to be an annual distribution to my client of $100,000, and we're going to keep the growth rate at 3%, but this is editable if you need to adjust that. And on timing, I want this to occur between now and the end of the plan. And we're going to click Done to save, and we should now see this refactor, and we now have income coming to my client each year. And if we turn on the details, you can see that corporate dividend flowing into the plan, increasing 3% year on year. And that is money flowing out of a corporation to my client in the form of a dividend. A corporation in Voyant can also be the owner of a property. So if you click the plus button here in the bottom right hand corner and go to property, you can also reflect the illiquid assets of a business, and so we can enter business property here and select business as the asset type, give it a market value, purchase value, and we want to also link any outstanding debts that are on this property so that the software knows if we ever sell this property, it'll know to pay back that outstanding debt and to stop these payments. So business mortgage, give this an amount and an interest rate, And the software is smart enough to figure out the payment duration if you can at least give it this much information, and then you'll want to tell it whether or not this is tax deductible interest. Then we can click done to save, and then we can also, if applicable, you can link any expenses or income that might be linked to this property as well. We're going to click done to save that. And if I can go back to year view, you can see we can look at cash flow. We see that dividend distribution coming to our client here. We can see the business revenue flowing into the small business. We look at the expenses. We have that business mortgage payment for the owner of the business mortgage payment is going to be the business. If we look at the investments tab, you can see the contribution of $358,000. That's going to be going into that investment account owned by the business. So this is the revenue that's left over after we paid any business mortgage or distributions to our client. And then if we go to property, you can see the end of year value of the property, any remaining outstanding debts, any equity in the property. And if we go to our corporate tab and we open it, you can also see a breakdown of any tax deductible expenses, any taxable income, a tax refund expected, our assets, debts, and cash value for the small business. And by using our square slider bar here, we can look at any year in the plan, including all the way to the end, our cash value expected at the end of the plan. So this is just a general overview of how the corporate module works in Voyant, and I hope this was helpful. If you do have any questions or you would like some help setting up a corporate structure in your plan, please do reach out to us at support@planwithvoyant.com. You can also click the name of your client in the top right, request support, enter your question into the text box, and share client access. Thank you.